Howdys and salutations, y'all. How are you doing this fine Sunday morning? I know I, for one, am actually super exhausted. I stayed up way too late on several different things, one of which being trying to finish a third art fight character sheet. Not with the same level of detail as the other two, but we'll see if we can get it up there. And the other one being deep cleaning the room, but a shelf insert, and somehow that led to me, like, cleaning 6 different shelves and dealing with, like, 4 years of paperwork. So, yeah, that was a bit of a unexpected plan, but I'm, good to have it done. That stuff needs to be sorted out, I suppose. Just not at 2 a.m. yesterday. So I apologize if I am properly low energy today. But I don't want that to stop us from exploring some art fight. So, let's see where we left off. Well, where we left off was wrapping up Olivine, which again, I have recorded that. I did not stream it live because it was mostly just technical, messy cleanup, and it was the kind of thing that I wanted to just be able to sort of grit my teeth and sort out rather than commentating over, because it's not that exciting. It's just updating some values. But what I can do is, let's see, show the final result at least. So here's Olivine. Here's the character sheet we ended up posting. I fixed up, basically what I had to do was go through and figure out, so to explain what the problem was first and then the solution. We had gone through and selected our colors without actually mapping them to the values we'd created, which meant that none of the colors actually fit with the values we'd used, which would be okay if that was the only thing that we were doing, but we also had the shadows and the highlights tied to the same values. And so we'd end up with, like, what would end up being like a low saturation color or a low value color with a super high value shadow and vice versa, and it meant that stuff got really wonky. So what I had to go through and do was figure out what the value of each of the new colors was, and then make the proper tweaks to update every single shadow and highlight to the same values as the colors, and then our shadows and highlights worked pretty well. So yeah, next time I will not forget to set it to color layer. Jeepers, that was a painful mistake. But that's okay, and I think the result ended up looking pretty cool. I'm certainly happy with Olivine's look. Let's see. So yeah, this one's already live on ArtFight as well. Speaking of, ArtFight is also live now, and the website was working last I checked, so they're handling it well. Never the easiest thing to do. So, rather than adding more pings to their website, because I'm sure they're getting plenty, I figured let's go ahead and download the character sheet of the one that we want to do first, and we'll go from there. Although I'll admit I'm torn because I may have chosen the wrong team. Not that vampires are bad. Vampires have been quite fun. But too many of my friends are vampires, which means I'm going to end up doing a lot of friendly fire again this year, which I don't really want. Kind of tired of doing that, because you get way fewer points for friendly fire. And while the points aren't really the essential thing, they're still fun. So let's see. Right. So what we're going to do is we're going to take the first character. This is... let me check my own... I wrote it down. Corneille by Hoonts. This will be the first attack that we're doing. Simple character. I figured we'd start it off with something fairly achievable. Especially because, again, I am dead tired right now. And because Hoonts is actually on Team Werewolf, so we can get proper attack points for it. Silly reasons, I know, but nevertheless, they're the reasons we got. So I'm actually first going to go and blow my nose. I don't know if y'all can tell. I'm sure it sounds through in my voice, but I am like having to fight a sneeze constantly. I'll be back in 1 second. Okay, well, I apologize for that. Still not going to be perfect. I don't know how that much mucus has shown up. Maybe I kicked up too much dust while cleaning yesterday or something. But, yeah, we'll just try to keep on top of that best as we can. And, yeah, in the meantime, let's not worry about that too much. But I may need to pause again and blow my nose. We'll see. So I had a thought. Because this character, as with all art fight characters, actually has conditions and also a little description. Mainly that she's tiny, likes to roost on people's heads, and her favorite treat is cornflakes. She's also been like attacked a ton of times on Art Fight, like going back to 2017. So yeah, this this character gets drawn a lot. So I want to do something a little bit different ish, but still well within the bounds of this. And that is, I figured it'd be fun to do like the Zelda item get pose, but with a cornflake. So I'm just gonna try to nab a ref real quick for that pose, and then we'll see if we can't get Corneille into it. The Skyward Sword seems to have the sort of overhead view, but still readable pose is a pretty good option. Here, let me try this one. Please don't be a weblock. Please don't be a weblock. It's a weblock. Dag nabbit. No, I don't want your stinking... No. No, Bing. I don't want your AI bot. Not that those are inherently bad, but I'm doing something right now, so leave me alone. And more importantly, Bing's in particular is famously unreliable. By especially by AI chatbot standards. It's impressively bad. I'm sure it works well for 90% of stuff, but man, when it breaks so bad. Okay. Trying to think of the best way to do this. Maybe we crack open Pure Ref again. It's been a hot minute. Because I know it can handle weblocks. And it can handle the Corneille image too. Then we'll be able to have both of them. Yeah, give me just a second. Sorry about all this. Getting set up still. Trying to remember how it all works. Okay. Yes. We just need to resize that to be not terrible. Was hoping that would do it. Okay. How did we fix this? I used to know how to do that. Properties. Yep. Capture method. Yeah. That's fine. I don't really want to capture the cursor. That is funky. Reset transform. There we go. That did it. Woo! Sorry. Give me just a second. I'll get it sorted out. I need it so that I can see it too. And now that we know how to fix the size, I can actually mess with that a little bit. That was not what I meant to do. This one. Whoopsie doodle. Been a while since we've been messing around with just stream settings for this long. We got it sorted, I promise. There we go. So this will be an interesting pose to try to capture with the silhouette. Probably one we're gonna want a darker background to at some point, but let's just start with start with the actual color we want, maybe. Go back to my nice dark grayscales. I love this character sheet, by the way. There's so many just wonderfully expressive poses, and they're so silly. They're great. Okay, looking at this, I feel like we're going to want the head sort of peeking out sideways, because we're going to have to, you know, it's not going to be a one-to-one on the pose, because this character, I mean, it's not 2D, but it's not going to have very much depth, so we're going to have to be very careful with our silhouette. Right, hold on. Let me think about the overall shape. Like, the whole head is like an oval like this. Like, it's not a terribly oblong one, is my point. Like a 1 to 1.5 or something like that. So, what that means is... This isn't a vector layer. Dagnabbit. What that means is we can play around with it a little bit. but still keep it fairly narrow. It should be good. Not too worried about the interior, other than I'm just trying to make sure I get the shape right. Let's see, these are just kind of generally flowing hairs, so that's fine. There we go. We'll fill for now, just to sort of work on general shape. Let's see, these expressions are great. I want to make sure that I can capture excited with the one eye that we're going to have visible. Or actually, we could actually have an open mouth. That's an option. We'll have to rework the shape a little bit, but that's okay. Amogus, sorry. It's like an instant association at this point. It's so like burned into my brain. You see the shape at all, you're just like, say it. Okay. Some of that. Back with darker color. More like that, really. Not too intense. Let's see. Oops. Okay, there we go. Yeah. So, as just a reminder for anyone who's poking their head in, this is for Art Fight, which means that this is not actually my character. This is fan art of another artist's character. In this case, Hoonts. Hoonts. At least on the site. And, yeah, so we're just doing some quick fun drawings here. Something to kick it off. Although, people have definitely kicked it off already, given that both teams are over, like, millions of points by the end of day one. And day one started at, like, noonish. So, yeah. Yeah, it's, people go all in on this. I want to sharpen this just a little bit. Whoops. No. And, well, no, not that one. I'm trying to stick to pure silhouette on this one. I know the originals don't always do that, which is not a problem. I'm just trying to keep it as an added, I don't know, challenge, style choice, whatever you want to call it. Okay, so here's where this gets tricky. Because we've got essentially a top-down view of this character. Preferably with this, yeah. Means that we're going to have foreshortening like nobody's business. And given that this character tends to end up being fairly simplified lines and shapes, I'm going to have to be a little creative about even representing what they look like from this view. Let's see. Not even the up arc, just like Kind of the feathers. And this one is going to have to pop up a fair bit. We can sort of do the pseudo hand thing. I've already got some references for this character doing that, and I think it's reasonable for the semi-silly thing that we're doing. That said, I do want to keep like the width of the arm a little more reasonable. Like if it's too narrow, it ends up looking too like off-puttingly arm-like. I don't know how else to put that as opposed to wing. And I do apologize if I end up being just incoherent today. Like I said, I was up. I know I talk about being up late a lot. This was like 2 hours later than I usually manage to pull off. So yeah, I'm probably going to be out of it for today. And then the cute little bird feet. They're so cute. It was nice. I was out like doing drawings from life yesterday, and I ran into, I don't know if it was a heron or a crane or just a big old bird like that, which ended up being very cooperative and very friendly and holding poses for a long time. it was just like, oh, cool. This bird is 100% on board with this. I think they were mostly trying to sun to dry off their feathers, but even so, it was still very helpful. They just stood there, they looked at me, they did not get annoyed in any way. Let's see, it almost feels like this foot's the right angle for the other leg. Link's got this sort of, I guess, kind of arced out pose. Or with just the bend of his knees. Okay, first off, hold on, let's see it as one thing, because I don't think that's right. Yeah, no. Head too big, even with foreshortening. Sorry, Corneille. Or Cornelia? I'm not entirely sure which. Let's see. Arc one side up a little bit. This is looking like a very lopsided stance, which to be fair, it kind of is in the game too, but we can still manage to do better than this. Let's see. Wings should probably attach a little higher. Honestly, when not in use, Corneille's arms just kind of vanish. Do we even want this arm? Or do we just stick with this one? Sort of keep these going. We might, like, bend the feathers down a little bit more. Prevent it from looking too flat. Add a little more depth to it, too. That's always good. see. I'd love to be able to come up with characters as, like, simply expressive as this, because it takes a lot to make a simple character that still, like, reads really well. And this one's good. Uh-oh. Oh, I filled it with transparent. Good. Usually if I fill and it doesn't fill all the way, it means that I have slightly messed up on my line spacing, and the fill is going to now destroy the entire screen. We can probably, yeah, arc the back a little bit more. It's slightly more of an away face, which doesn't 100% match the Link pose, but I think that's okay. Clean up, because the fill tool doesn't play super nice with the aliasing on this one. Not the worst, but, you know, don't want to just leave it. You can see there's all sorts of funky lines in there that get fudged. And add a little bit of lighting and shadow, although I really shouldn't do too much for this character. But there's some. Really more of like depth of darkness. This one's a little bit less. So. Right now I'm just kind of doing this all on one layer, which is, you know, terrible practice, but we're trying to... This is the difference between the exercises, where I'm trying to follow all sorts of good practice and really improve and all of that, and the not exercises, where I'm just trying to do what it takes to actually get the piece done in a reasonable way. Let's see, I'm not liking quite how, like... I feel like this part still needs to be sharpened a little. Yeah, that's better. Ah, okay, I think, like, we need to... Oops, let's get the slightly darker. Let's bring the point out more on this one. With the reason being that now I can sharpen it and not have it look like it's got something of an underbite. Not perfect, but I'm liking it better. Let's see it when it's connected to the body. Because that'll take away some of the perception of Mega Chin. Just some of it, though. Oh, hold on. Oh, no. There's no one doing it now. That's where it lives. The many problems with not doing good layering practice, though. Whoops. And yes, I am going to go work on the legs a little bit. The balance feels super off with their current placement. And they're too wibbly-wobbly, but step one is get them in the right place, and then we'll correct the exact form. Problem is the pose kind of calls for Link to bend knees, and I don't know that Bird in general do that the same way, let alone Voidling Bird. I'm going to try to line it up with the angle of the lower leg as opposed to the upper. We'll see if that ends up being a little more authentic to the pose without being, you know, garbo. I wonder if I can get, like, just a tiny bit of curve. Oh, nope. Let's... I need to make the whole thing, like, still so much thinner, though. And that's kind of got a hook to it in its own right that I'm not entirely capturing the way I want to. Let's see. Okay, how's that one looking? Too short. Let's go all in on weirdly scrangly bird leg. I've gone and made it genuinely too narrow. Oops. If that looks less bad. I have to come back to the legs, honestly, just to like brain reset on them, because I'm feeling like they're probably just going to need a fresh start. I don't quite want to do that yet. So instead, I'm going to look up a picture of a cornflake. Because I don't know how to draw a single cornflake. Cornflake at least gets its own layer. I'm going to say that much. We've got one for Corneille. And one for Cornflake. Cute naming scheme. Okay. Now hold on. Let's think about cornflake shapes and sizes. I don't want the dictionary definition. Actually, the dictionary definition has a good picture. I really want the rough border on this one, actually. Oh, is the roughness is dependent on the size of the brush, so yeah. I'm actually going to do the cornflake like lighting on a different layer just because it's going to be kind of weird. It's really more of like where sugar is catching the light. And like where the bubbles on the in the cornflake itself are. I am looking at a specific one as a reference. I'm not going to try to improv a cornflake when I haven't, I've done no art studies of these. Shocking, I know. I mean, how could I have been so neglectful on such a staple thing to draw? But alas, you'll just have to bear with me as I learn how to draw this from scratch. Feels more like a topographical map, honestly. Even add some particularly high intensity spots along here. And I feel like just a little bit along these edges too, just from the way light maybe is catching it. Honestly, with the right colors, that's a passable cornflake. I'm shocked. I'm gonna merge these two layers then. Now, challenge 2. Getting a cornflake color. Not the worst. Feels a tiny bit overly grim, but or overly gray in the dark spots. I may try to liven that part up a little bit. Add some texture in here. The other thing I might want to do is get just like a little bit of shadow going, and apply some depth. Let's try that again, but like a little less fluid, more broken up, sort of like the actual cornflake edges. There we go. That's it's a thing. Right up the edge on those ones. That'll help give it a little bit more sense of proper depth, I think. I don't stinking know. The inner workings of cornflakes are still a mystery to me, despite my best efforts. I actually want that one. Try to get a little along this edge. Just, again, I'm trying to get a little bit of reasonable depth with this, but that's kind of hard to do with the chaos of a cornflake. So I'm liking this overly detailed cornflake next to our super simple character too. I probably could have just like, I don't know, done like a cornflake, and it would have been okay. But I don't know. This is silly too. Not sure I need to specify. It's going to be the only color in here. Oops. Hold on. Oh, let's grab both layers. No. Hmm. Is there anything on layer 2 yet? No, not yet. Okay, cool. Maybe that'll be next. We'll see. Okay, let's have a fresh go at the legs. Grab a little bit more there. Oops, wrong layer. Wonder how many times I'm going to say that in my life. I reckon it's a lot. I'm actually going to take this moment. We're 45 minutes in. I'm going to take this moment to use the restroom, get some water. I recommend everyone else do the same. Take care of yourselves. And we'll be back in just a few moments. Howdys and salutations, y'all. We are back once again, and we're gonna work on some bird feet. Yeah, I'm not putting these back. Hold on. I almost absentmindedly just undid the undo that I did. Oh, that's one too dark. The leaning all in on the darkness of the feet is an option. Specifically, come on, Link. This is... Why has this got to be such a hard pose? So technically the angles we're looking at here is that, and then that, and that. Flip side, that, which technically goes in, and then we're just seeing basically foot. The problem is bird leg short a joint for that. So I can always just try to play with that a little bit. Some limits to what I can do, but we'll see. I want to put a little more effort in the foot. Not like a ton, but just enough that it doesn't look bad. This one I think I mostly just need to line up right. There we go. Oops, that got a little out of hand. Try it with these. I'm actually pretty content with that. I mean, you know, maybe make the feet bigger, but cool. Just working out the pose first. Probably good advice just in general. Line weight makes this much harder. Or at least having to think about line weight. Okay, Corneille, let's get you a little more centered. I guess we could go rule of thirds, but I don't think we want to do that. Other stuff we could do. We could actually, like, in addition to glow effects around the cornflake, which I'd love to try to do. But I do also want to try to find a more fitting background. Oh, right. One thing I definitely ought to do. Whatever happens, Corneille needs to fit the color scheme. And we could, honestly, just go all in on the light background, too. Keep it sketchy. But I do want to have just, like, some loose hints of stuff around. Like, say, a treasure chest. But Corneille's also tiny, so well, I guess it'd probably be a tiny treasure chest for the cornflake. Could have put them in front of a really, like, giant treasure chest and they're just in front of the corner of it, which would be funny too, but... kind of playing fast and loose with this one. Really, what I ought to do is I'm assuming the eye isn't, like, see-through, because there's clearly, like, an interior mouth and stuff that would be visible through it at some point, so I'm just gonna assume that that's probably fine. Sorry, I just realized I went, like, dead silent there while drawing this. That's probably not very entertaining. Let's see, whoops. Okay. Sorry, I'm just, like, I'll admit I'm zoning out. I'm tired enough that we'll probably just have to wrap stream soon-ish. It doesn't have to be right away. First off, I want to try to get a little more background going on in here. Okay, that one's not as closed as it looked. Try one more time. Nope. We can get that at least. And I'm going to rearrange the layers here in just a second, so don't worry about these horribly sloppy edges. Oop. Solved. can sort of imply a little light. I don't want to get crazy on the sneaking background lighting. This is supposed to just be some little doodad that's background, so... Can do is sort of... I'm gonna make that its own layer if we do that, just in case. Let's see. Chest color, and floor. I accidentally undid one of the hinges on the chest. Whoops. I gotta chill on my undo buttons. Getting a little overzealous with those lately. Okay. I just want to get some very, very loose grid pattern going on here. That's going to be too little to notice. Kind of bouncy perspective thing I've been going with is not great. Let's try to be a little more consistent. Slight vanishing point, but nothing nearly so bold as what we had been doing. Maybe not enough foreshortening on that, but it's good enough. The main thing is that we just want Corneille and the cornflake to pop a lot more. So I may add one more layer. Has to have like 50. And just, you know, lighten all this up a little bit. There we go. That just leaves one thing. One thing that I don't really necessarily know how to do. Oh, where did my other... Oh. We can try using this one. Okay, hold on. Oh, okay, I see what's happened. Too much glow. And I do want to kind of get the goldeny glow of a of a cornflake. Nah. I think the other brush would actually be better for it. Just the real G pen. It needs to be like fairly faint. Guess I can't really do the transparency layers with this one though as much. It's like a little too. All of the glow ones end up being a little too bold. Let's see. Perhaps the Windows XP screensaver pen will be beneficial. Nope, it's already at max. Ah. It could be an opportunity to mess with another fun tool. uh, oh right, this is the one that works like this. You do a circle around it, and it's probably going to be a little too much. Oh dear, what's this layer? Oh, right. Dating. Call it. I feel like I don't want that covering Corneille, though. Just put Corneille at the top. Not on Corneille's layer. Hold on. That's maybe a little too much. That one is too bold. This one we can work with. If it'll let me. There we go. The focus lines are all so faint, it's not super visible, but it's not the worst. I always do this one. Oh, right. Oh, that's better than any of the other ones we've been doing, actually. I overundid again. This one's not going to be good. Yeah, it's more of that. Sorry, I'm just messing with these. They're probably not what we're going to end up going with, but they're just kind of funny. That's not bad, actually. It's not going to let me do 270. Hoping for some undergloom. Yeah, maybe not that one. Oh, interesting. Hmm. Oh, interesting. Okay. Hold on, it rotates -90. Interesting scale. Got it. It. That's probably a little too much. Could probably just do like a big ol' glow column of it. I feel like that's kind of getting away from the original Zelda intent, though. That kind of works, though, like the kind of fiery glow. There we go, I'm liking that. Trying to remember if those games, is there like a text pop-up, like you got a thing? Yeah. Looks like a lot. Okay, that's Wind Waker. Now we can play around with the rules a little bit. Alright, because, I mean, Breath of the Wild has its nice simple one, but it also doesn't have quite the same pose for most of them. I could. I'm just having fun with this at this point. This one would probably have to be a layer in front. Whoa, okay, hold on, but it still needs to be transparent. What if I just grab a rectangle and then tweak it? Then I can take the brush and kind of just do a run over the edges. Just to kind of stick with the style thing that we've been doing. But yeah, I kind of like having the bottom flattened out a little bit. There we go. Okay. Do I even attempt to use the text tool? It can be good. Just usually so massive. I don't know, it's something pretty basic in it, honestly. Size like 20. That's probably still gonna be too much. 15. I can try bold, we'll see if that works. Uh-oh, hold on. Go back to the text tool though. This section, I know there's ways to adjust the color. I just never remember what they are. Oh no, that's not doing it. Oh boy. Color. That one, I'm going back to the white. I'm, maybe red would be better just in the classic. But I don't know, we kind of got a basic color scheme going here that I don't want to mess with too much. This is become something ridiculous, but I'm enjoying it, so. That said, I probably do need to actually go back to sleep soon. Ah, okay, there we go. I guess I just didn't have that setting in a way that I was understanding. That feels better. That one was a little too dark and dreary. This one's still kind of, but not nearly as bad. Let me double tap. There we go. Nope, that doesn't really show up well. There we go. I gotta throw that in there. Shouldn't have done it on the floor layer, though. Because of that. And it limits my options now. No. I don't know why I wasn't picking up color. There we go. I probably should have done it in a different color, too. Like one of the grays. Yeah, definitely should have done this on a different layer. This would be much easier to fix if that were the case. And to test if this gray ends up not looking good. Why'd I do it like this? Okay, yeah, that's better. Okay, well, honestly, I think that's probably going to be it for what we're doing today. I know, plain and simple one, pretty quick, but figure I wanted to at least kick Artfight off on this first stream. But I also, at this point, desperately need to go back to bed. So thank you all for joining for probably the quickest finished drawing we've done. And hope to see y'all next time. Have a good one.